guys. Yeah, I still don't have we didn't even talk about it this time. This is kind of how we're just gonna introduce these videos.
Yeah.
I'm Kayla.
I'm Ashley.
So yeah, let's do this. Last time we talked about, the anxiety of school. So this time we kind of just wanted to do a video on anxiety, what the clinical definition is, what it looks like for us, and just kind of all the things. So, since Ashley has a phone, she's going to do the definition.
Okay, so apparently, according to the dictionary, anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome.
When we were reading all these different definitions and trying to pick which one we were going to read, I don't really relate with a lot of them. I feel like I have this movie idea about it, that it's this full-on panic attack, or that I don't even know. It's not what I relate to, so that's why I don't know even how to describe it. It took Pinterest. I'm not even gonna lie. I was Pinteresting. And there was signs of anxiety, and irritability was on there. And I was like, oh, I need to research this, because I don't relate with a lot of panic attacks or incessant worrying or stuff like that. Or at least I didn't think that I did. For me, irritability has been a staple in my personality. I don't even know when it started. I remember being really irritable in high school, but I thought that was just that time of the month. But now that I look back, there really wasn't a specific time of the month. I was just always irritable. But it's always the person really, really close to me that I snap at. So it used to be my mom. Now it's my husband. Love him. Sorry. Yeah. Usually if I'm really irritable, now that I know what it looks like, that you can, I might not know, but someone else could probably tell you, that's when I'm having a moment. I don't know what's going on. It'll take me a minute to figure it out. I'm trying to get better. I am. But for me, it's mood swings, they'll be sudden. And again, it'll honestly be when my husband walks in. That it's a trigger. He's not the cause of it, but he's
he's your safe place,
I guess. So then it just brings it out. So my mood swings will happen. I'll start snapping. I'll just really become a very unpleasant person. It's really I don't know how to describe it. And yeah, I can't even describe all of the symptoms for me, because I don't recognize them until we're in that moment, and my husband's just what is wrong with you? Seriously, what is wrong with you? And I'm just everything. All of the things. Yeah.
Well, anxiety, I think for me, I have a lot more of the clinical symptoms, as far as excessive sweating. It's hard for me to breathe, I feel like.
I do have that one.
I get stuck in my head. I can't focus on anything else. I just get so caught up in the tornado of thoughts in my mind.
I do have that.
Yeah.
See, it only helps. I can only pick out mine when someone's I have this. I'm oh, that's what that is? Okay, cool.
Actually, I'm anxious right now. So, this is perfect.
I don't really know of a time I'm not sometimes.
We'll
get into triggers, don't worry.
Yeah, that's next. I feel I have so many.
Yeah, for thoughts, what you're trying, mine is, it'll be I'll think of one thing, but it'll be this is because of this, and then it'll just be this never-ending line of, well, I'm anxious because of this, and this causes me to be anxious about this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and yeah, I don't really know if it's a tornado for me, more of in those scenes where it's a mirror room, and it's the infinite line of mirror, that's what it feels like.
Interesting. Yeah. For me, it's definitely more of a tornado, just because a lot of the times I don't even know what started the anxiety attack or just feeling anxious. I don't know what starts it a lot of the time. Sometimes I do, and sometimes it takes me a while to figure out what caused it or why I was even feeling that way. Sometimes I don't even know that that's anxiety is what I'm feeling in the moment.
Yeah. I can
Sometimes I think it's just like, oh, you're a girl, so you have emotions. Like, you're just emotional. Like, and I feel like a lot of the times that's what it gets passed off as.
That's why I didn't know that I was just having anxiety for like so many years, because it got lumped in with, oh, is it just like that time of the month for you?
Mm-hmm.
No, you jackass. That's not it. I'm just having a moment, clearly. That's what I just call it. I'm having a moment. I don't know what else to call it. It doesn't feel like a panic attack. It doesn't feel like anxiety for me. It just feels like I'm having a moment in life.
Mm-hmm.
It just happens to be that moment will be like a month long.
Yeah.
I just feel like it can like look like so many different things that it's hard to pick out that that's even what's going on for me. Like, I don't know.
And it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, we were sitting here talking about it before we started filming, and we were talking about how for her it's completely different than what it is for me. Like, she doesn't have the clinical symptoms really, so it's harder for her to figure out like what that was. Like, it took you a long time to figure out what anxiety was, whereas for me, I just pass it off as like stress or like, oh, it's no big deal, like whatever.
Well, I mean, like we talked in the last video, like for me, I think I understood that I had anxiety, but like I didn't know when I needed to get help for it and when it would fall under stress category. You know, with being in grad school and planning the wedding, like I didn't realize that it just got to a point where like I was irritable every minute of the day. Yeah. And so that's when I was like, you know, and I was talking to a friend about it, and she was like, what you're describing is anxiety. I take medication for it. You need to go get help. I'm like, cool. I'll go do that. Yeah. Like, and, you know, like I said in the last video, like it helped for a little bit, but I don't really know what's going to help now.
Yeah.
Maybe growing up. I don't know. And that's not like, that's not to like say that I'm not a grown up, but I don't feel like a grown up. So that's part of my problem. Anyway, triggers. I mean, school was definitely one for me for a while, but I feel like anxiety does get lumped in with school a lot, and school is definitely not the only trigger for me. Relationships of any sort. I mean, obviously right now, it's not my relationship that caused it, it's more of like our future. Like, we don't have drama in our relationship. Like, that's not a thing. Yeah. Thankfully, I did grow out of that. You know, in high school, yes, definitely the relationship itself was the problem. But now, like, that's not the problem. It's just like, you do have someone dependent on you. So your actions and like your stuff like that, how this is going to impact them, that, oh my God. Yeah. Drives me up a wall some days. Like, because I don't want to make the wrong decision, but in trying to figure out what's right and wrong, like, oh my God, it makes my head hurt. So much.
And family.
Oh, God.
Yeah. We're not going to get too deep into that, but family can be a cause of anxiety, whether they mean it or not. Yeah, I mean... like, I feel like just being around family members, like, you might not even realize why they're giving you anxiety. Yeah. It could just be, I don't know, how they're talking. The tone in their voice could give you anxiety, and you don't know why.
Or you could just dislike them, in my point.
Yeah, also that. I
mean, just for me, like, you could throw a dart, and you're probably going to hit a person I don't like on my family tree.
Yeah. Or, like, views on, like, politics and
that's part of why I don't like some of my family members. Stuff like that. Yeah. Honest. I don't talk to them, so it's okay for me to say.
And it's, for me, like, a lot of my family, I'm the black sheep in the family, I feel like.
Oh, yes.
Because they all have different perspectives and views in religion and politics and life in general, and especially school. Like,
I'm having so many flashbacks right now.
Like, me not going to school. And this might not even be the case, but this is how it is in my head and how I feel. When I didn't go to school, I feel like my family kind of was just like, oh, she's throwing her life away. Like,
Yeah.
she's not going to be successful in life. She's just going to, you know.
My mom didn't react that way, but I was anxious that she was going to.
Yeah.
Only because of, like, history.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that's how my mom reacted. My immediate family is great. Like,
yeah,
it's just extended family. I felt like that's what they were thinking.
Thankfully, I'd already disowned some family members before this, so I don't know how they would have reacted. Also, don't care. But, yeah, no, I'm trying to think. My bio dad was taking anxiety medicine, so that was, like, the one thing that he didn't argue with me, like, you don't have that. Growing up, I got told I didn't have asthma. Like, multiple times. And I'm like, I have a doctor's note. I have an inhaler, man. Like, I have to use... What? Like, I would have to do breathing treatments when I was sick as a kid. I would have to use my inhaler. The PE and me, we're not friends. Had to use that all the time. Like, but no, I didn't have asthma. Until he decided to get in shape. And he found out that he had athletically induced asthma. So he told me, he was like, well, so I guess you could have asthma.
So only because he finally got diagnosed with asthma,
yes,
then you could have asthma.
Never mind the fact that my Nana and, like, all three of my cousins on that side had asthma. Nope. So the fact that he didn't, like, you don't need anxiety meds, it was because he was on them. It had to have been. But... yeah, that, I can only imagine the conversation of, like, hey, I quit school. That probably would have went over like a lead balloon. Only because that man would probably still be in school if he could. He really liked college. I don't know why. I did not, but yeah, no. Family, oh my God.
There's so many reasons. For me, it's just the politics and the religion. Like, I get anxious going to family events because I am so scared that that's going to be brought up and I'm just going to have to, like, either bite my tongue and walk away or, like, sit there and argue.
See, this is definitely where we differ because I do have anxiety, but I love confrontation. Like, that meme where it's, like, the tiny girl and the big dude and they're like, you're afraid of the wrong person, or whatever. I don't know the exact meme, and I'm not going to try and Google it because I'll never find it. But yeah, I'm the tiny person that really likes conflict, and my tall husband does not. So at a restaurant, yeah, I have the, like, let me see the manager haircut kind of person. That's me.
That's not me. I mean, I guess in a restaurant, yeah, because Kenneth is a lot more, like, he's quieter than me, especially in that, like, he doesn't like making scenes. I don't like making scenes. I hate conflict. I hate confrontation.
I don't make it over just anything.
Well,
it's just if you, like, mess up my queso or something like that. Like, if I specifically came to this place for this thing and you, But, like, it's the same thing with family. Like, I don't mind it. But, like I said, I grew up with a lot of it. And I am the black sheep, so, like, I didn't have a problem saying, like, you're being a douche. Like, and it didn't matter who they were in my family. I'm just like, you're being dumb. Stop. Just stop. But, like, for each section of my family tree, it was different on the, like, what their issues were. So, I love confrontation.
No, that's definitely one of the triggers for me that makes me anxious. Like,
except with my mom. That's the only person I don't like to be in a competition with. Mostly because hers is like, and me and my dad will, like, make fun of this, because when she's mad at you, or even if you're mad at her, you can't slam things. You can't stomp. You can't talk. Because anything that you're doing is going to be misconstrued as, like, you could just be walking. And she'll just be like, stop stomping. And I'm like, what? Or, like, you'll shut a cabinet. Don't slam a cabinet at me. But, like, when she's mad, everything's fair game. Everything. And you're just like, don't slam that cabinet, Mom. And she just looks at you. I'm like, yeah. That's the only competition I like, because it's not fair. But, like, yeah. I can't relate with this, like, anxiety about family in that sense. It's more of, like, sometimes I don't care what people think, and then other times there are certain people. Apparently I care. I don't want to care.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to turn it off.
Yeah.
And so it's like paranoia.
That's honestly something I've been working on like all year, is like not caring about what like anybody else thinks.
Got any tips?
I'll get back to you on that one.
Because I definitely need some.
I mean, because I honestly don't know how. I guess me knowing that I have Kenneth, like, and like I've been married to him for a year, so I know like he obviously loves me no matter what I look like, no matter like what I say or do. Like,
yes, because oftentimes you look like a potato sack.
Yes, I do.
Oh my god. Whatever.
He's been like honestly my rock and just like very encouraging.
So cute. I would like to say the same things, but I'm not that type of person. So I do love my husband though. But yeah, I can't do that.
Oh, another trigger. Finances.
Oh my god.
Now that we're talking about relationships. And,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God. If you just mention money or budget to me, I'm out. I want to leave.
Yeah.
I want to run. Like when we were doing the Dave Ramsey, and when I say when we were doing, I think we've only done like 2 classes so far. But when we were doing that, you had to take like a test and see if you were the nerd or the free spirit, and like I land right down the middle.
Oh, yeah,
Enough
I can see
that the free spirit in me wants to run.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do this. I don't like it. Mostly because I've never looked at it and it been good.
Yeah.
It's never looked good. So
yeah,
I have no like history to back up that this is going to be a fun conversation.
Yeah. Like finances are very stressful. Especially when it comes to your future.
Money is, oh my god. Like, obviously, I hate debt
Mm-hmm.
of any kind, but like, debt sucks. I have school debt, and I feel like school debt has like this asterisk by it that like everyone has it, so it doesn't stress me out as much,
Mm-hmm.
even though I still know it's debt, guys. Okay, I'm not saying it's not, but like, it's not, I don't know, it doesn't cause me as much anxiety. But credit card debt,
Same.
my god, I just need medication to look at the bill.
Yeah, because I'm like, I need to pay that off now. Like, I don't want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
But like, here's the thing, like, I know, like, I can tell you why every charge was on there.
mm-hmm.
It's not like I just went like, you know what, let's go shopping.
Yeah, it's not like
No, like, wedding stuff's on my credit card at this point, because I had literally just paid it off. And then we had to put wedding stuff on it. And like, I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, because it's for your wedding.
I mean, and our wedding wasn't even that like extravagant. It wasn't that. It just still needed to put stuff on there. And then, oh yeah, at one point the dog ate a whole like gingerbread loaf. And I wasn't 100% positive that nutmeg wasn't in it. And so I took it to the vet. So things like that happen, and like I had to put it on there.
It's just being an adult.
Yeah.
Like,
but to look at it, because, you know, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And it's like that. I can have like a small trigger that's like looking at money, but it will open the door for all of it.
mm-hmm.
Because it can never just be one thing. It's like the whole span of, okay, so money. We have debt. And I don't have a job and I don't know what I want to do with my life. And then we get onto the future plan track and it's like, okay, well, what do I want to do? Well, I don't know what I want to do, but I don't know what to look for. I don't know how to search for that. Yeah, it's like a never-ending list of,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's fun stuff.
And I guess I could go into factors like really honestly anything could trigger anxiety.
I mean, yes.
Because for one, anxiety is different in everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe finances don't affect your anxiety. Lucky you.
Also, can you teach a class?
Yes. Maybe you don't have family issues that spike your anxiety. Maybe it's...
Can you teach a class? I have people I can send you.
Maybe it's something like going grocery shopping.
I actually enjoy grocery shopping. I'm weird.
I like going with Kenneth, but Kenneth doesn't like going. So like every time we go, the first like 5 minutes there, he's just, like, complaining. And I'm like, but this is fun. Like,
See,
I like going with
used to
you.
think the same thing, and then I realized it's very aggravating, so we just don't do that. I go by myself. I, like, thoroughly enjoy planning out my weekly meals, and I get so excited about, like, new things to try. So I just like going to the grocery store. I don't know.
No, I don't go anywhere by myself. That's another trigger, I guess, for me, is, like, I don't like doing anything by myself.
It depends on what it is, but, like, I don't want to go to the grocery store at night. If it's dark, I don't like to go to the gym when it's dark.
Yeah.
By myself. And that's a whole other video. And that's not even an anxiety, like, some of that's an anxiety thing, but part of that is also, like, society.
Mm-hmm.
I have to think that, and that's just wrong, but I don't mind, which sucks because I always like going to, like, I don't mind going to movies by myself, but I never think about the walk outside of the movie theater because I never go early.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a creepy walk to my car. But I don't mind going places by myself. Plus I can go in and out, and I can go to so many places, and no one's in my car to complain. Like, we have to go here too. Yes we do. No, I get to, like, I'm gonna go here and here and here and here, and I'm probably gonna backtrack to this place simply because I can.
Yeah, no, that's not me.
And this is why we do these videos together, because we have different views and opinions. Yeah, because I like going grocery shopping by myself. Plus, there's no one there to tell me not to buy that.
It's true.
The, like, little miscellaneous aisle at Aldi's. I love going to that aisle.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you think that maybe plays into your anxiety?
Shut up. Shut up. I don't always buy things, but if it's something cute, yeah, I'm gonna buy it. Okay, and it's Aldi's. It's usually cheap.
Coping skills, huh?
I mean, healthy coping skills or unhealthy? Because that, at one point, was the reason I had credit card debt. You get in that mood where you're just like, screw it, I've done good, or it's been a crap week, and you go and buy something, and then next week, that crap moment that you were like, screw it, I'm gonna buy it, is the trigger for the next week's issues. Yeah, I'm bad about that. Yeah. I deserve this shirt. It's been a bad week. It's been a bad week because I'm stressed out about finances. So I go buy the shirt. And then next week, it's like, I don't really regret buying the shirt. That's not it at all. I don't really know what I regret in life. I don't know. But that shirt was still comfy. Whatever shirt I bought. Just it.
See, okay. I used to have unhealthy coping skills. That's a whole nother video. I don't want to discuss that today. Healthy coping skills that I found have worked for me is definitely, like, talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, especially when you find someone who you consider your safe place. And, like, it's totally fine if you have more than one. Like, I have more than one. Most of the time, I try to talk to my husband about it first, just because, like, he's my husband. And he deserves to know what's going on in his wife's mind, because it might explain some things.
Yeah.
So I try to talk to him about what's going on. And a lot of times he doesn't understand, and I just kind of spend 2 hours sounding like a crazy person and just talking in circles, which is exactly what I did yesterday. That was fun.
Glad I'm not the only one that happens to. Except I get aggravated that I have to repeat myself. Because that's also a trigger for me. Don't make me repeat myself.
So, you know, I repeat myself on purpose because, like I said before, my mind is literally a tornado.
Oh, no. I'll repeat myself in talking in circles. But don't ask me to repeat what I just said. That will send me.
Yeah.
Or if I get repeated at. But not in a talking in circles way. It's more of like a nagging mom way. Like, take out the trash. Or something like that. She never told me to take out the trash. But it was like something that she would do. But yeah, that.
Coloring sometimes. But then also that, like, backfires and I get very anxious about my coloring.
Coloring the lines? Making it look pretty?
Yeah. Yes. So that kind of isn't as great of a coping skill as I'd like it to be.
I feel like somewhere I have a coloring book of cuss words. I feel like I asked for it, but I don't know where it went. Because that would make me feel better.
Yeah.
I feel like just coloring a big,
Yeah. Oh, writing. I think that helped for a while. I haven't been the greatest at
I need
keeping
to
up
do
with that.
more.
I love writing and it's very soothing to me, but also sometimes it frustrates me because I get so stuck in my mind, like I can't put it on paper into words. But there was for a while, like a couple of years, like I was steady at writing and that helped. But as far as like anything I'm doing now to cope with anxiety, other than talking to Kenneth, yeah, nothing is really working for me at the moment.
Yeah, talking's the only thing that will get me out of that moment. It doesn't fix the problem entirely, and it will probably come back the next day.
Mm-hmm.
But for that moment, I will have I'll feel a little bit better just because I've talked it out. I might not have gotten anywhere with it, and I probably did just talk in circles, like you said, for 2 hours. But for me, it got out of my head. Didn't mean if it, it didn't have to make sense to anyone. It just needed to get out. So that helps sometimes.
Yeah.
But
and cuddling with your dog.
Yes, cuddling with the dog.
It's the greatest.
Except mine smells sometimes. So that's not fun.
So if you have any suggestions on healthy coping skills or things that work with you for your anxiety, please feel free to comment them below because
yes, please.
We need help.
But also I'm also interested to know what other people's are because everyone's is probably different.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know. It might work for you. Some of our bad ones might not help us, but they might help someone else.
Yeah.
I really need to go to therapy probably.
Therapy helped. It didn't help me the first 2 times I went, but the last time I went, it really did help me a lot. And I would love to go back, but
it's the more expensive route for sure.
It is.
I mean, I've never went for this, so I don't really have an experience on that.
Yeah, I've never gone specifically for anxiety. That's just always kind of been the sprinkles on top of the cake, really, because I've
never even talked about it.
Yeah.
Because I went, the last time I went I was in high school, so I didn't even know that was a thing, as I've talked about, but I probably need to go.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely encourage it.
Yeah.
To anybody, and it doesn't necessarily have to be for anxiety. It can be, I mean, we talked about last week, school, and all the issues that you're going with, and dealing with in school, that I feel could be an entire, reason to go to therapy.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be, a mental illness or anxiety or anything like that. It could just be you're struggling with life in general. It doesn't necessarily mean you're diagnosed with some sort of mental illness or you have anxiety.
Well, and I don't know. I don't like to look at it that way just because it sounds bad. Or it doesn't sound bad. It has this filter to it that people look at it badly. And you know how many people deal with anxiety?
Yeah.
Everyone. I've never met a person that has never had an anxious moment. Now, is it all the time? Maybe not. But I feel anxiety is on a sliding scale. And you just kind of have to pick for yourself if it's on the higher end and you want to get medical help or anything, or if you have ways that you cope through it and you manage just fine. I think that's just how that is, but I feel diagnoses have made it this thing where you don't want to be that serious about it, and I don't really feel that way about it. So I just have anxiety issues sometimes I don't.
Yeah. And I feel especially, it's easier, I guess, for us as women to be yeah, we have anxiety. Yeah, we struggle. But, as far as, a man sitting there saying, I struggle with anxiety, I need therapy, I'm dealing with these issues, in school, I feel that's frowned upon in society, and I feel a lot of men don't get the help that they need because they don't want to look weak or
that's true,
emotional.
Yeah. So, I feel that's it for me.
Yeah.
I feel we have it on the schedule to do another one next week, but you know what? With us, you never know. So
we're gonna try to keep it every week.
Yeah. We will let you guys know when the next video is going to happen. But for right now, make sure to like and subscribe, and you won't miss it because it'll tell you. So there's that. But yeah, bye guys.
Bye.